February is here, which means a lot of people have unfortunately already given up on their New Year's resolution. Researchers vary, but only about 8% of us will be successful in reaching our New Year's resolution. So think of this video as my virtual kick in the ass for you to get back on track and to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself in 2020. And yes, in addition to living a healthier lifestyle, eating right, not drinking or smoking, here are a few financial goals I challenge you to achieve. And let's get started with number 1, ask for a raise. We all want to make more money, and unfortunately our annual wage increases just aren't going to cut it. So in 2020, I want you to go to your boss, ask to sit down to go over your performance, and to ask for a raise. Of course, this is going to entail you to explain why you deserve a raise or what you bring to the table. So make sure you start keeping track of your performances, and you can highlight the good things that you bring to your company. And a good side effect of asking your boss for a raise or asking to sit down to go over that performance review is that it's going to give your boss the impression that you are looking to advance in the company. So they're going to keep you more in the back of their mind. Of course, remember, they might say no, but they'll give you an important insight to what you do need to improve on. Or if not, it's going to lead you to goal number 2, which is to look for better career opportunities. It is very sad, but long gone are the days where companies would actively take care of their employees. Most of them are busy worrying about their own bottom line, which leaves them very little in terms of employee compensation. Loyalty is not going to be rewarded. So the longer you stay at the company, you might not be making as much money as someone who recently joined your company. For example, let's say you joined your company as soon as you graduated college, and because you have no experience, they paid you only $20,000. Even if they paid you 10% every year, that only means you're going to get $2,000 in raises. On the flip side, someone who recently joined might be getting a base salary of $30,000, and the same 10% increase is going to give them $3,000 as opposed to your $2,000. As is the case, you can always bring this up to your employee to see if you're able to get more of a raise. But if they say no, it's time for you to start looking for better job opportunities. So brush up on your resumes and start going on interviews so you can widen your scope and see what else is out there. And if you want some tips on how to conduct a better interview, check out my video. I'll link it right above. After you do those 2 things for your career, the third one I want you to do is to call around for a better deal. For almost anything in life, there's always going to be a cheaper price. So give your cable company, your phone company, your water company, your electricity company, your trash company, basically call everyone that you can and ask for a better raise, or if you are paying interest, ask them to reduce the interest rate that you are paying. The worst they can do is say no, which will leave you right where you started, or they might say yes, which will save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars every year just by simply giving them a phone call. The number 4 goals I want you to do in 2020 is to check your finances more consistently. Most of us get paid and immediately we wonder, where did all the money go to? Unfortunately, because of our fear of money, most of us don't even check our bank statement to see what our current balance is. This is why it's so important for you to check your bank account and to make sure that you're not being charged any hidden fees, or that your banks aren't taking advantage of you by charging you fees that you're not even aware about. Also, by checking daily, you're going to be able to check any discrepancies. So if you are charged double, you're able to catch it, give them a call so you can get that refuted and refunded. If you want to learn more about bank fees, check out my other video where I break down the top 9 bank fees that they love to charge you. Number 5 is going to be a tough one, but it is going to be to cut down on impulse purchases. As soon as we open our eyes and we flip through our phones or we walk around, we are bombarded by ads and things that we can buy, things that are always on sale or discounted. But when you start doing number 4, checking your finances more consistently, you'll begin to see just how much money you spend on frivolous things. That $5 coffee you buy every day is going to cost you $1,825 every year. So rather than spending $5 every day, watch this video instead on how to make 20-cent iced coffee and start cutting back on things that you don't really need. In addition, number 6 will be to develop more money-saving habits. Along with homemade coffee, why don't you try going to your grocery store and try cooking your meal every once in a while instead of dining out or ordering in. And if you find yourself buying lots of water in the convenience store, try to find those refillable water bottles that you can take along with you. Also, go through your subscription, see what program or what service you no longer seem to use or make the most out of and cancel back. Most of us don't even have time to watch all the Hulu's, Netflix, Disney Plus shows, so try to narrow it down to just 1 or 2 subscriptions you can keep every day. And if you live in a place where they have public transportation, try to use it once in a while, or see if you can bike or walk to nearby places instead of taking your car. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever I post new amazing money-saving videos. You know, things like that. Number 7 would be to start or contribute more towards your emergency fund. Now, I sometimes feel like I am a broken record and I repeat the same thing over and over again, but having an emergency fund is going to be a great thing to start. You know the old adage that man makes plan but God laughs? Well, life loves to throw curveball at us when we're least expecting it or when we don't need the heartache or the problems. So make sure you have a few $1,000s. If you have nothing, try to have at least $1,000 because most Americans can't even do that. Start off with $1,000 and put it in a high yield savings account that we can keep up with inflation. I personally put all my savings on Marcus Goldman Sachs, which I think gives 1.7% right now. Number 8 is going to be to declutter, sell, and donate what you have currently. Now that hopefully you're buying less things, it's time for you to go through your things and see if there's anything that you're not going to be using anymore that you can sell so you can put that money towards your emergency or whatever savings that you have. Most of us are going to have way more things that we're going to ever need. So go through your closet, see if there's any jackets, shirts, or clothing that you won't be using. And if it's something worth selling, sell it on eBay or on Amazon. Or if you feel like you're no longer getting any use of it, just take the time to declutter and to donate it. Number 9 is going to be to start a side hustle. Chances are your job is your one and only source of income. And this leaves you very vulnerable because let's say if you lose your job, you're basically screwed unless you find a new job. In the meantime, you might end up going in debt by swiping your credit cards because you don't have any emergency fund set up. So in 2020, I want you to start a side hustle that will give you your second income. And remember, on average, millionaires have 7 different sources of income. So I want you to start on your second or third stream of income this year. Number 10 is to improve your credit score. Just like we were graded in high school and college, credit score is essentially your adult score. And it doesn't really matter where your credit score is right now. If it's low, you can always take steps to improve it. So make sure you pay your bill on time and you never miss a payment. And if you have only 1 or 2 credit cards, see if you can sign up for more credit cards, responsibly of course, and to increase your credit limit so your credit utilization score stays low. And as a benefit of increasing your credit score, you're going to be able to get the best mortgage that you can and the best interest rate that they have out there for you. Plus, when you do end up reaching that 800 credit score, it's going to be a nice little thing that you can brag to your friends about as well. Number 11 is going to be to pay off your debt. On average, the stock market goes up 10%. And if you want to beat that 10% return, you simply have to just pay off your debt. Most of your credit cards are going to charge 16 to 24% in credit card interest. So by simply just paying down your credit card balance, you're getting a guaranteed 16% return. So do yourself a favor, before you start investing, or if your interest rate is much higher than that annual 10% stock market return, start paying down your credit card debt. So in 2020, you can become debt-free or you can get close to being debt-free. And if you want to know 2 different ways of paying off your debt, check out my video where I compare the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method. For number 12, I want you to read more and get curious. While reading isn't going to be your sole reason for becoming wealthy, a lot of current millionaires list reading as one of the very top habits that they follow. Warren Buffett, who's currently worth about $86 billion, says he reads about 500 pages a day, while Bill Gates, who's currently worth $108 billion, tries to read 50 books a year. Now look back in 2019, how many books did you read? I'm not talking about those fantasy or fiction books. I'm talking about non-fiction books or autobiographies of famous people, of wealthy people, where you can read and get inspired. So in 2020, I want you to start reading. If you need a recommendation, read Shoe Dog. It was written by Phil Knight, who was the co-founder of Nike. And remember, if you don't feel like reading or if you're too busy to read, download an audiobook. I don't consider that cheating. Number 13 is I want you to stop making excuses and procrastinating and just start investing. In my previous video, I break down the many excuses that we tell ourselves on why we should invest. 2020 is a year where all those excuses go away and that you just simply start, so you can start building your long-term financial future. As long as you're consistent and you invest long-term and you think long-term, there's no reason why you can't retire a millionaire. So don't push it off anymore. Start investing right now. And when you do start investing, or if you're currently investing, make sure you remember number 14, to have realistic expectation. Once in a while, you're going to read sensational headlines where someone invested in the right stock at the right time. But just remember, the headlines is just one thing. For every one person that got lucky or have made it big with the stock market or in any business, there are thousands and thousands of people who have tried the same method and invested in different companies but have all failed miserably. So when you invest, don't chase the return. Remember, stock markets provide on average 10% annual return every year. Make sure you have realistic expectation and don't try to get into FOMO. Don't be afraid that you're missing out. Stay consistent in what you are doing and eventually you'll get there. And with that said, number 15, don't compare your journey or your investing journey with someone else. Currently, Jeff Bezos, who's founded Amazon, he's worth $116 billion. But we have to remember that he didn't start off that way. In his beginning, I'm sure he had a lot of stumbles and moments where he thought Amazon wasn't going to make it. Likewise, you might have a friend or a family member, coworker who's currently investing and earning a lot of money. But you shouldn't start comparing yourself to them and think that their investing method is way better than yours. People have different risk tolerance and different ways that they gauge companies or why they decide to invest in certain companies. And if you blindly copy someone else's investing strategy just because you're unsure of what to do, you risk losing everything. So remember to go at your own pace. It is not a race because eventually, as long as you invest in the right company, you're going to end up winning. So take it slow. Figure out your risk tolerance and what you want in a company and do what works best for you. And along with that, number 16 would be to research your investment. Just because someone says, oh, Tesla stock or Apple stock or McDonald's stock is a good stock, don't blindly follow them. Make sure you do your own research and you figure out yourself why you are going to spend your money on this particular stock. Remember to take inspiration from other people, but don't copy them blindly because you risk, once again, losing everything because you don't understand what you're investing into. Number 17 would be to control your emotions. You're not going to like to hear this, but stock market and your stocks are going to go down. It might be 2%, 5%, 10%. It might be up to 50%. But no matter what happens, remember to control your emotions and not to be scared out of the market. That's what happened to a lot of people during the 2008 crash. Everyone saw the market going down, news articles saying it's the end of the world, and people ended up selling their shares in companies just because they couldn't handle the volatility. But eventually, stock markets are all going to come back up. Remember 2008? Just look at where we were then and where we are now. It basically went up more than 300%. The stock market is simple. You basically want to buy low and you want to sell high. But if you're not able to control your emotion, you're going to do the exact opposite, which is why a lot of people lose money in the stock market. You're going to end up buying high because you think it's all going to be safe. And by the time the stock market crashes down, you're going to end up selling low because you're afraid of any further losses. Don't do what a lot of people are doing. Make sure you take control of your emotion, stay calm during market turmoil, and invest consistently. Stay calm during the market drop because it's basically stock market being on sale. Would you rather buy Apple stock when it's trading at $300 or would you buy it when it's $200? Sure, it might be scary, but if you believe that Apple stock's going to go back up in time, making sure you buy those dips is going to enable you to fast pace and grow your money and beat everyone else. And that's it, 17 money New Year's resolution I wish you to try to achieve in 2020. But I like nice even numbers, so here are 3 more tips to make 2020 the best financial year that you can have. Number 18 is going to be to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing videos I'm going to be releasing. Number 19 is going to be to hit the like button to show your support, and it doesn't cost you anything, and we all like free things. And finally, number 20, comment down below what financial goal or other goals you have in mind that you're going to try to achieve in 2020. And when December 31st rolls around, we can all come back here to see if we're able to make it through and join those 8% of people who succeed in fulfilling their resolutions. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you haven't started your investing journey, make sure you check the description down below where you can find my referral links to M1 Finance, Robinhood, and Webull to start your investing. And as always, I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Bye.